Here we are, 3+ years after a certain paper ran a series about Lakewood Public Schools. And then there was a follow-up a year after that. It's about 2 years ago. How everything is getting better in Lakewood. Well, here from the New Jersey Department of Education, it ain't getting better for special ed kids in Lakewood. Special ed kids, it's getting worse. Don't believe me? Get a copy of complaint number C2007-5492, which I filed on behalf of one public school student, but let the Department of Ed in Trenton know it was a systematic denial of special education children's rights. Don't have to believe me. You can have Mr. Azara, or you can have Mrs. Sinatra, the special ed monitor, or you could have the board, who, by the way, the Board of Ed is not to blame here, because they're powerless. Miss Winters is not to blame here. She's powerless, and she does care. But, according to this report, which is available, which was an investigative report after I filed on behalf of, again, a public school student who they failed to evaluate. There are rules. From the time you register and ask for evaluations, the district must evaluate your child within 90 days if they determine evaluations are necessary, which they typically do. You could be Hispanic, Black, White, Jewish, Protestant, Muslim. You don't have to go to a public school. You just need to register, not enroll. Many parents do that. This report by the DOE in Trenton, the same DOE who hired Mr. Azara, the same DOE who Miss Sinatra, the special ed monitor who's been here for a year plus already, and this report, amazingly, after speaking with the superintendent, after speaking to the director of special education, Mr. Dorso, after speaking with the child study team supervisor, Sam, and after speaking with a state monitor, this all happened according to the report on September 7th, in response to my complaint, alleging systematic denial of special education rights. This is what it says. The district, and by the way, this is all long after 2012. This is long after the articles, self-serving as they are, that Lakewood's getting better. Children are being denied evaluations in a timely fashion. The district, listen to this one, outsourced evaluations, whether it be a psychological, educational, speech and language, sort of what was done 20 years ago before I became attorney by MOESC, an outside agency, which as soon as we came around, we said this is not working. Why would you have people who don't know Lakewood public schools evaluating kids? But the monitor and those in charge last year decided we have too many. We have to outsource. Well, as the report finds, the outsourcing was one big source of grief. The evaluations weren't done timely. The evaluations weren't done correctly. And here's an interesting one. According to this complaint investigation report, the district is, quote, seeking a consulting firm to conduct a comprehensive monitoring of the district's special service department. Now let me get this right. We have 3 monitors, one of them being a special ed monitor. We pay them, by the way, your taxes and mine pay these 3 monitors to monitor. They've been monitoring for a few years already. These monitors now need to be monitored. That's what it says here. There's a proposal to get a consulting firm to monitor the special ed. How many more monitorings do we need? How many more cases does the district need to lose? How many more children sit at home without services or languish in the Lakewood public schools? Don't believe me? Go online, look under the word OAL, and you will see students of all nationalities, of all colors, of all religions, of the Lakewood public schools, forget the non-public schools, who languish year after year until somehow they get to this office, we file a complaint, and voila, they needed services for last year, the year before. But now we have the same DOE. So when is someone, let's get this right, let's make a chart. We have 3 state monitors. One of them is a special ed monitor. They're all hired by NJDOE, which we pay for through our local taxes. Now we have a report by, guess which agency? NJDOE. Wait a minute. It's the same NJDOE. They're saying that these guys need to be monitored by outside guys. Layer on layer upon layer of bureaucracy. And at the end of the day, one group is shafted. Special education students. It's time for a class action to be filed. And typically in special education, we don't do class actions. They're frowned upon or whatever it might be. But I have been contacted by various groups, associations, and parents of public school children. The systematic denial of evaluations of special education might very well call for a class action. Stay tuned.